After rescuing an abandoned puppy, the man discovered it's not a dog. While going for a walk, this man found something that he didn't expect. As time passed, he was amazed to discover that the animal he took in wasn't really a puppy. Well, the first thing Andrei Musienko thought about after waking up one cold winter morning was to do some exercise. But his mood was not conducive to strenuous activity, so he decided to go for a nice long walk instead. Due to his location in a remote area of Siberia, he had access to a forest behind his home. So as soon as he put on his boots, he grabbed his thickest coat and set off for the country. There was a clear path where many people had walked before him, and many more would follow. It wasn't unusual for him to visit the woods regularly, and he always took the same route. His goal today was to do something different, so he decided to take a left and explore a new path. In this new area, the trees seemed to be wider, and they were very tall. Andrei could only see a few glimpses of sunlight through the leaves. In the meantime, a faint sound suddenly sounded outside, and he immediately recognized it to be a cry for help. Considering that the sound was not too far from his current location, he followed it. And that's why it didn't take much time to reach the location of the source. As he approached, he discovered an animal curled up against a tree. It was a puppy, and its eyes were closed and it looked like it was not older than a few weeks. Andrei couldn't comprehend why anyone would abandon such a helpless creature. In an effort to comfort the shivering animal, he stepped closer to it with outstretched arms. Grabbing the pup, he tried to provide some warmth to the poor creature with his gloved hands. Moreover, at that time, he had no time to worry about anything else, and his only concern was to keep the pup safe. This prompted him to rush home and rescue the abandoned puppy. He knew that this was going to be an important thing for him. When he reached his house, he took some blankets from his house and wrapped the puppy in order to keep it warm. In addition, he turned on the heat and collected some water. The puppy stopped shivering and appeared to be in a better state after a while. After that, Andrei contacted the local vet and asked for a checkup. He wanted to ensure that the animal was in good health. Despite only knowing the puppy for a few hours, he knew that they would become close very quickly. Just like he did earlier, he didn't really think it through and simply trusted his instincts. He adopted the stray pup and named him Aquila. With time, Aquila grew bigger, and Andrei noted that his new pet had a big appetite, and it was the same since they first met, but its hunger only grew with time. Although Andrei was also aware that young animals need several nutrients. Specifically, canines and other mammals need to feed on a regular basis in order to maintain their weight and energy. However, the eating habits of Aquila continued to surprise him. As the puppy grew, his facial features seemed to sharpen, but the shape of his body started getting wider. Andrei's mind was gnawed by the thought of a killer breed. Well, it was a mystery that he was not able to crack, and also had some curiosity because he'd never seen a dog like Aquila before. He also had many friends who were dog owners and asked them about this burning question. Just like Andrei, they were also confused and had no idea. As time passed, he sent people photos and videos of Aquila, hoping that they would have an answer. But his efforts were in vain. Something which is really simple as figuring out the specific breed of a dog eventually becomes an impossible challenge. As a last resort, Andrei spoke with an animal expert. In order to determine the breed of Aquila, the expert asked for a meeting in person. Immediately after that, Andrei and Aquila were driving toward the expert's location. Andrei walked into the practice with a leash attached to Aquila, and after talking to the receptionist, he was directed to the expert's room. The expert's jaw dropped as he walked in. She was astonished, because they discovered that it was not a dog, but a wolf. Andrei had spent all that time raising the puppy. He later discovered it wasn't a dog. Even more interesting, Aquila turns out to be a Eurasian gray wolf, not just a random wolf. Well, this species is known as the biggest canine in the world. Furthermore, puppies and wolf cubs share a lot of resemblances, so it was only natural that Andrei made that mistake. And when Aquila grew older, it was almost undeniable that she was a gray wolf. During their visit, the animal expert explained that the difference in size is an important thing to consider. He then had to protect the well-being of Aquila after discovering the actual species of his pet. Apparently, tamed wolves intrigue a lot of people. As soon as the zookeepers heard about Aquila, they began sending emails and calling Andre. They were trying to convince him to send Aquila to the zoo. On the other hand, he had heard some stories about zoos that made him apprehensive about sending Aquila there. The other option was also not very good, as a lot of people had told him to release the wolf back into the forest, as some of them were worried about the safety of Andre and also his neighborhood. But he was not really sure because there was no assurance that his dear pet was going to be safe in the woods, because he remembers the day when they first met in the forest, as Aquila was left all alone to fend for himself. Even though some people would argue that it was ethical to leave Aquila alone, and he could give reasons as to why he did not believe that was the case. Due to the fact that Aquila had already spent so much time with Andre and adapted to a new lifestyle, it made perfect sense to let him stay with him. Andre thinks that he has already taken ownership of the wolf, so it's not good to give him up. Initially, his family was hesitant about his decision to raise a wolf, as there would be many potential dangers when it comes to interacting with or raising wild animals. Particularly, wolves can be really unpredictable as they're mostly feared for their brute strength and carnivorous hunger. Besides that, since Andre adopted Aquila, he had never shown any signs of being aggressive in any situation or towards any human. So he believed that if there was nothing harmful and potentially dangerous, Aquila is just like a domesticated dog. In the time since Andre had adopted Aquila, they had grown to be inseparable. Following his heart rather than listening to people's judgments ultimately led to his friends and family fully supporting his decision. Not only that, the young creature was lucky that someone had found him in the woods, and Andre was also really happy to have come across the young creature. Till today, Andre and Aquila are still together and live happily in Andre's Siberian home. On top of that, the relationship between Andre and his unique pet inspired others to help wild animals who are in need. He also created many wild animal bases across Russia, where gray wolves will be able to live safely. These bases increase in good numbers, as there is now a wide range of canines resting there, including foxes and coyotes. Well, his work has definitely saved the lives of many creatures. He didn't stop there, as he turned to social media in order to get more people to sympathize with canines and share his experiences with people. He's managing a successful Instagram account where people are treated with countless pictures and videos of this amazing creature. What an amazing story. Don't forget to share your thoughts with us in the comments section below. We would love to hear from you. Also, do consider to subscribe to our channel on your way out and press that bell icon if you want to see more of these interesting stories. As always, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.